Good day and welcome to the Thursday, March 3rd edition of the Horizon Communications Sports Brief. I'm Earl Basden. During a webinar hosted by the Bermuda Boxing Federation titled Balancing Athletics and Academics, Bermuda boxer Adrian Roach described his challenges of being a student athlete.
First starting at Crandall University, the first few months, I'm balancing everything, training, school, and everything was new to me. Because usually, you have your parents behind you to be like, hey, like, you pick up on this, pick up on that. In high school, your parents have access to all your grading, or your everything, report cards. In college, it's not like that. You have to be accountable for yourself. You have to, look at all your syllabus. Information, you have to look at all your due dates, and you have to get everything done yourself. But at the end of the year, the report card doesn't get sent to your parents, it gets sent back to you. So you have to take a lot of responsibility with that, and that comes with a lot of you have to be a responsible person. I would say 3 things that helped me achieve balance in school and sporting would be consistency, discipline, and sacrifice. For consistency, you just got to be consistent day in, day out. With your routine, you have to develop a routine. You have to be able to. Sometimes, I have so many alarms set just for different times because you can't remember everything at once, and so you have to be consistent with your schedule. You don't want to change it up too much, or else that's when you get start feeling overwhelmed. With everything, you want to set aside times to study and stick to those times. So even if you don't feel like studying or you don't feel like getting some schoolwork done, you have to, because like my coach had mentioned earlier before, I'm looking to get afterward. So I had to sacrifice some time and set aside periods of the day where I would, do extra work so I could get ahead, so I could go do my best and compete for having things in the back of my mind. As a sacrifice, you have to sacrifice a lot of things with being a student athlete as well as being a student. It's certain things little things even your bedtime. I go to bed at 9:30 nights now, and it's wow, because at such an early time, especially for somebody my age, a lot of things are going on way beyond 9:30. Your friends wanted to talk. You got relationships, things like that. And it's a sacrifice, but it's all for a greater goal in the end, and things like that. So you have to learn how to sacrifice. You have to learn how to tell people no. You have to learn how to say cut a conversation short and be like, yo, I gotta go to bed so I can be up 5:30 in the morning to get back to training, get to schoolwork, everything like that. You gotta learn how to do the hard things in life. And discipline. You gotta be disciplined with your sleep schedule. Got to be disciplined with your diet. Got to be disciplined with your training, schoolwork. Discipline is a very big part in boxing, especially because if you're not disciplined and you're not focused on everything that you have to do, because everything's a whole, everything works together with each other. If you're not disciplined, then you can get hurt very badly, and it could not only just affect your future career, but it could affect your life.
Madeline Moore just keeps on winning. After 3 individual gold medals plus a winning team effort in the 400-yard medley relay at last week's WAC Championships in Houston, Moore was named the Women's Swimmer of the Year for a 2nd consecutive year. On top of breaking school records left and right, Moore began her championship by claiming the WAC meet record in the 50-yard freestyle with a time of 22:17. The time earns Moore first alternate for the NCAA championships. Moore wasn't done in the sprints, claiming gold in the 100-yard freestyle at a time of 49:10 and the 100-yard backstroke touching the wall in a time of 53:14. The Bermuda Football Association announced the traveling squad to represent Bermuda in the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championships knockout stage. Bermuda advanced to the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 Championship knockout stage in September of last year after victories against U.S. Virgin Islands and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Following the postponement of this past weekend's matches, a meeting was held on Tuesday evening, March 1st, between executive officers of the Bermuda Football Association and Bermuda Referee Association executives. Following the meeting, Bermuda Referee Association executives held an emergency meeting with their members whereby they decided to resume officiating as of Saturday, March 5th. The Bermuda Football Association had to announce the Shield and Friendship matches scheduled for last night at the BAA Field had to be postponed. The 6:30 match, that was the Shield match, was scheduled between the Boulevard Blazers and the Paget Lions, while the Friendship match scheduled for 9 p.m. was between the Dandytown Hornets and the St. George's Colts. Also postponed was the FA Challenge Cup first round match between Somerset Trojans and Hamilton Parish that was scheduled for this evening at the Somerset Cricket Club. The Premier Division match scheduled for Friday, March 4th between the Devonshire Cougars and the PHC Zebras has been rescheduled for Sunday, March 6th at 6 p.m. at the Devonshire Recreation Club. Meanwhile, Jacob Medeiros helped his May River High School varsity soccer teammates win their season opener. Taking on Benedictine, May River picked up a 3-0 win with Medeiros scoring the second goal of the game, a 25-yard free kick. As previously reported, Rugby Americas North announced that its 2022 RAN 7s qualifiers are set to take place at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium in Nassau, Bahamas, April 23rd and 24th, hosted by the Bahamas Rugby Football Union. The two-day event will serve as qualifiers for the Rugby World Cup Sevens 2022, set to take place in Cape Town, South Africa in September, along with the Commonwealth Games 2022 that will take place in Birmingham, England in July. National Rugby coach Jamie Barnwell explains it's a winner-take-all competition for a place in the two events.
From my understanding, it was the top two. My understanding at this point in time is winner takes all. So you've got to go to the Commonwealth Games, you've got to finish first. And to get through to be a contender for World Cup qualification, you've got to be number one. There is no space for number two.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm hearing at the minute. What makes our challenge even more difficult, I guess, to some extent, is we've also got Canada in this draw, which we didn't have before.
Right.
Really, Mexico, Jamaica, they're the two we've really been looking to chase, try and make some ground up on. It takes time, but I would certainly say that they're probably favourites based on their results and past experiences. But then we've got Canada coming in who haven't managed to qualify in other tournaments. Now they're a whole different kettle of fish. Very professional outfit, full-time paid athletes. But the wonderful thing about Sevens, Earl, is you never know. On the day, it gets right. We've got an 8-week period now that we can really bolt on and add to the things, the game that we want to play, and the players are right behind it. Really excited by this one. Everybody is.
Trey Mallory and his UNC Wilmington men's tennis teammates lost the doubles point and then went down in the first 3 singles matches en route to a 4-0 defeat at the hands of the University of North Florida at the UNF Tennis Complex. Mallory and his partner won their match in the number 2 doubles spot 6-1. Mallory was then battling in the number 6 single spot. Mallory had won the first set 6-4, but then fell in the second set by the same score. Mallory was down 4-1 in the third and final set before the match was halted with the North Florida win. The former Cup Match Players and Officials Association, a registered charity since 2019, is hosting their annual golf tournament on May 14th with the assistance of Brian Morris and OJ Pitcher, both professional golfers and the director and assistant director of the Ocean View Golf Club. David Patrick, the Oklahoma men's basketball associate head coach, and his team defeated West Virginia 72-59 to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive. And that's a look at the Thursday, March 3rd edition of the Horizon Communications Sports Brief. I'm Earl Basden.